Hello world, it's Berto Pray 5, Qapla, and welcome to Open Lines Thursday for May 28th, 2020. And for those who were wondering, yes, the TV is here. It's been set up and it is on. We had a couple of issues getting the setup on the stand that I preferred. So we're using a lower stand that came with the TV, but it's working. It's okay. It is far better than nothing. And next time we have a second capable person of helping lift in the house, we'll be able to put it about a foot higher. And I think it'll be even better. But it's there, it's working. I have television again. And what did I use it to watch so far today? Another episode of Looney Tunes from HBO Max, the second episode of War of the Worlds on Epix, and about half hour of an Enterprise episode before I realized, before DJ Odyssey texted me and asking when I was going on. So, yeah, it was time to get on. And Joseph Petrick was first squatting. Glad you were squatting on the right chat, Joseph. I was worried about the other video. People might be there. Thomas Potts is late, Opray. No, there was no set time on Thursday. Zachary says, hey, let's see the TV bird. Actually, we have Sassy, and the TV is in the corner there. It's a little low. It should be a bit higher, but it's certainly not bad. It is not bad at all. And Sassy is happy that the TV is back. She was a bit annoyed that there was no television for a while. Yeah. Mike Richards is greetings from Columbus, Ohio. DJ says open line. Indeed. I guess I should put the link out there. Copied the link. We don't need Sassy. She's not doing anything right now. I'll take that off. There is the link for those who want to join. Kronos says you are live. Qapla world. Yes, Kronos. Hello world. It's Berto Pray 5. You'd have heard it twice if you listened when I first started. Epic Beard says DJ cheats. Wow, without any proof. Mountains of Elysium says greetings to Berto Pray, Mamo Pray, and fellow nerds. Thank you, Mountains of Elysium. Kronos says, Joseph, it's called lurking. Kronos says, Aru. Yes, Aru, Kronos, Aru. Joseph says, I put the link to where to find you. Thank you so much, Joseph. And Kronos says, Sassy is a double agent. Maybe she's a triple agent. Quadruple even. Zachary Gibbons says, yay, great looking TV. Thank you. It does look good. It's a 4K HDR television compared to my old one, which was 1080p and non-HDR. But the old one was 60 inches. This one is a mere 55. So it is noticeably smaller, but I'm sure I will get used to it in a few days. Just like I got used to, when TVs get bigger, you get used to them in a few days. When they get smaller, you get used to them in a few days. It's just this first day that's going to, take a little getting used to. And it's a hell of a lot better than having no TV, which was, what we had for almost 4 or 5 days. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, hider from Lori, and scourge of the squirrels. Aru, indeed. Cinnabon Bunny is here. Hello, Cinnabon. Sci-Fi guy says, hey guys, I'm here watching my youngest sister. Watching your youngest sister and on, because I'm not your youngest sister. In case somebody didn't explain it to you, I'm not your youngest sister. I'm not any of your sisters. So I don't know how old the youngest is. Mama Pray is curious how old the youngest sister is. Sci-fi guy. Like, is this like a child or just I don't know. In fact, if you don't want to answer, that's fine too. But just Mama Pray is curious. Yeah, nobody ever has to answer any questions, by the way. And we got a donation from Berto Pray 5, which I don't remember making. Says, I can't wait to watch all this porn on my new TV. I did not say that, no. Captain Trek says, greetings, Captain Trek. Crow says, wow, I did not insult Sassy. Cinnabon Bunny, can you loot me a 4K TV? And we've got Yosef on the line. Welcome, Yosef.
Hello. Greetings from the future.
Greetings, Joseph. Is it tomorrow yet?
Not yet, but something like 22 minutes to go till midnight.
Gotcha. Well,
yeah.
and
Just
DJ,
go and read your chat. I'm going to hide behind no avatar. I just wanted to make sure that you see me and that it's really me.
It's really you. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And DJ says I read it wrong. He said he's watching with his youngest sister. Well, then I still have to make sure then what I say, depending how young she is. And that's why Mama Pray asked. Now, DJ Odyssey is live. Welcome, DJ Odyssey.
Welcome.
Hi, DJ.
Thank you.
And yes, Cinnabon, loot us some good stuff.
I thought I better come up here and make sure you could read the chats right.
Reading is secondary, DJ. It's most important to read them out loud than to read them correctly.
Is there a difference? Oh, yeah, yes. There is.
Well, it does when there's a comment about sitting with my youngest sister. We got to make sure that she is either 18 or older, or we have to watch ourselves on what we say.
No, as long as she's like 15 or 14 or older. I don't, I'm not going, it's not like we go that crazy here. Kronos is rewinds and prove me wrong. Rewind, what would I rewind, Kronos? I don't know, if we do that, then DJ's head is covered by that. We'll keep it like this. Jeff Franklin says, Qapla, Jeff Franklin. And Kronos says, wow, I thought the tip counts. The tip always counts, Kronos. As long as the tip exists. If the tip has been cut off, then it's no longer the tip. And we're adding Mr. Londell. Qapla, Mr. Londell.
Mr. Londell.
Hey.
Okay,
Hello.
Bird, we're safe because Sci-Fi said that she's a former biker.
So, former biker, then she's
we're safe.
Everything. Bicycle biker or motorcycle biker?
She just said biker, so let's just go with the flow. She said to act like she's not even here.
Okay. Carlos says hello. Hope everyone as well as could be. And DJ, you said we have to behave, but then you came on.
No, see, you didn't read it again. I said, do we have to?
I said, that's what I said. Do we? So we have. No, you said, so we have to behave.
So we have to behave?
Is it right there? Yeah.
So we have to behave?
Trying to confuse me.
With question marks.
Epic Beards is Bunny Man. I don't see any dead horses. Yeah, did Cinnabon kill a horse yet?
He was supposed to kill 20 of them for me.
Kronos says this is going to be a fun stream. No promises. No, Kronos, things change. Kronos says, Jeff Franklin, so my hair can grow back. No, it's not growing back. Marlena says, hello, Bird. Hello, Marlena. And let's give Mr. Londell a little. I don't want to cover up his face this entire time. Welcome, Mr. Londell.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Okay. Thomas is Bird of Prey Sci-Fi Guy says watching with. Okay, yes, I get it. I get it. Stranger things have happened, and very few. Cinnabon says I don't think they were around in the late 1890s, Thomas, but I'll look. What for looting? No, he means because Minneapolis is having riots. Captain Track says, hey to Kronos. Kronos says, Marlena used to have the Tantalus thingy. That would come in handy. Zachary, he said, yes, I understand. It's freaking TPS reports all over again. Qapla, Mr. Londell, who then came in. And thank you, John Araki, for the $1 super chat. Greatly appreciated. Marlena says, Kronos, yeah, you need it for something. Oh, the Tantalus, yes. DJ says, I see how I rate. I didn't even get an invite. Unsubbing. What, invite from who?
Well, I didn't see the StreamYards at first. I thought you were passing them out personally.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I just put the StreamYards link out.
Well,
It's extremely funny. I got 2 notifications about your stream.
I'm not watching porn while streaming. Why did you get 2 notifications?
I don't know. Somebody didn't get probably 1.
Huh.
So I got 2 of them.
Hopefully it was anti-truckers you got, so he won't know we're here.
I think he's probably busy working anyway. Happy
Anti-trucker
Dinosaur.
Anti-trucker
8000.
knows we're on, okay? He knows.
Happy Dinosaur 8000 says Joseph must have stole his time machine. Because he's from the future.
I have my own.
Yes, give us the lotto numbers, Joseph.
No, they are mine.
Because I didn't say hello. Hello, Jeff. I didn't say hello. I thought I did. Hello, Jeff Franklin. Kronos is Bird of Prey. I hate you. Wow. Wow. T-Berg says reading is like flying a spaceship. True. It takes a lot of concentration. Sci-Fi Guidance says no, she's a former biker and says to act like she wasn't even here. Good. Good. Zachary Gibbons, we are so fucking crazy here. Indeed, and a lot of sock cutters here. DJ says, oh, DJ's here.
I don't think you have to repeat anything I said now. I'm up here.
Yeah, it's true. That was Kronos anyway. Well, what is it, Sassy? You guys can't even hear Sassy.
No.
Captain Track says Kronos, but you love Momo Prey. That's true. No, that doesn't go the stream. Darth Aster says, hail and Qapla, Darth Aster. Kronos says, have a trippy trip tip, Bird of Prey. I don't want any. I don't need a tip. I'm not in it for tips. You know what I mean. Jedi Bill says, hail, Bird of Prey 5, Qapla brother, hail, Jedi Bill. Sci-Fi Guy says, hail, Marlena. Kronos is Captain Trek. This is true. Let's get through a few of these. Easlyn Burkholder, Qapla, a friendly hello to all. Excellent. Marlena says hello to Sci-Fi Guy. I don't have to say what DJ says anymore because DJ's up here. Nice cap, says Kronos to Mr. Londell. DJ says, my bad. I was confusing you with Epic Beard. Says DJ, my bad. He was confusing you with Anti-Tracker. Oh, yeah.
He thought I was going to come up here and just talk the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had your radio show today, right?
Yeah, no, Kronos and Epic Beard are they might be a little upset with me because I kind of kicked Beard out of the chat room twice and Kronos once.
Of the radio show?
Yeah.
What did they do?
Well, Beard was kind of goading me into it, said he had no fear of my hammer. So I had to show that it worked. And then the first time for Kronos, it was the end of the show. The chat room was closing, and Kronos said he wasn't leaving until he got booted. So I booted him.
Sounds like you had no choice.
So that's just fulfilling the wishes of your loyal listeners.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Of course, now Epic Beard thinks I'm in love with him because I booted him.
It's okay. The Kronos will be back. Epic Beard will be back.
Oh, Kronos is here. So
what's the McWhatnot says, hello all, Qapla, Qapla, what's his face, McWhatnot. A hard name to learn to say, I'll be honest. Kronos doesn't hate TOS, that's always good. Unlike Rock Solid. Let's see. Kronos says, is that a track porn thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. I don't know why he'd hate TOS. Rule 34 says, yes, Darth Haster. We've got a doggy. We have a doggy on camera. Joseph's doggy.
Yeah.
Aww.
Showing the love. Yeah.
Yay. Aww.
And the second doggy is coming as well.
Oh, that's a slower doggy.
She's just careful.
Sassy, you want to come see Joseph's doggies?
I thought I saw a putty tap.
Oh my God! The third episode of Looney Tunes on HBO was Sylvester and Tweety Bird, and it was terrible. The first two episodes were pretty good, but for some unknown reason, they decided to change Sylvester's eyes to yellow. So Sylvester, the entire episode, has yellow eyes, which he never had before. And then just the whole episode kind of sucked. There was a lot of dialogue. They were talking so much. I don't ever remember them talking all that much. It used to just be,
A lot of slapstick.
Yeah, exactly. This was probably more dialogue than any other short they did yet. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing. I mean, let's say it wasn't Star Trek Discovery bad, but it was. The first two were surprisingly good, and this one was surprisingly not. Oh, a kitty cat now. What else you got there? Goats? How are you on goats and alpacas?
No, only kitty cats.
Is that Sylvester? And are his eyes yellow?
That part of the world, maybe he'll show up with a yak.
That not. This is my kitty cat that she lost her tail.
You cut off her tail?
No, a car ran her over, so she looks like a panda.
A car ran over her tail?
Yeah, and tore the skin off. So it had to be amputated. Yeah.
Aw, poor kitty.
You know what? It was like 2 bad weeks, but afterwards she got used to it, and she's fine.
She's probably upset her balance.
That's true. She's not climbing on roofs anymore.
We had a cat. The cat we had for like 14 years. When we moved to the last place we moved when she was alive, we had a third floor balcony. And not only was the third floor balcony, it go all the way down, but there was a basement level that had steps going down to the basement. So it was almost like 4 stories down off of this balcony. And the cat would jump between the railings from our 3rd floor balcony to the neighbor's 3rd floor balcony, which had to be 5-6 feet away at least.
Mm-hmm.
And without issue, multiple times a day, just jump the distance, not only perfectly through, but our railing, but also perfectly lined up to go through the neighbor's railing. Used to scare the shit out of me, but she made it. That's not what she killed her. So,
you know what? In the beginning, the black and white, the cat that I showed on camera, I have like 3 cats. So this is the not the oldest one, but the first one. and she and it was my first cat. Well, here's another one, the black one. Okay, come on.
Mama Pray wants to say something.
I'm just going to interrupt for a minute.
Oh, there's his black cat.
Oh, I had a black cat named Blackie. Anyway,
This is Shadow.
speaking
Let me
of
introduce
what
you
I
to
was-
Shadow.
what I was a shadow. I like that. Anyway, today is National Tell a Black Woman She's Beautiful Day. Really, I'm not kidding you. It really is. Yeah. So when AT streams tonight, don't say anything to him because he might not know it, but just keep saying Mrs. AT is beautiful. And maybe he'll catch on, maybe he won't.
Well,
I
maybe-
know because Camille messaged me on Facebook and I messaged her back that she is beautiful in so many ways, and she is. If anybody that don't know, Camille is a person that helps me with Joe before the COVID. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Before we were all isolated. And she's the one that came and picked up Sassy while he was in the hospital. Camille is definitely a beautiful woman in many ways. And if you've seen her on his streams, especially Chair Life, she's also beautiful to look at. So anyway, just figured I'd pass that on. That's all I have to say.
Do you have a secondary source for this?
Yes, I looked it up.
Oh, you did look it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how good the secondary source is. But-
What was the
I'll
secondary?
read it to
It's
you.
okay. It's okay. It just seems like an oddly specific day.
Well,
Why? It's the
In the meantime-
it's 28th of May. What's so oddly specific? It's just a normal day. And since it's the 28th, my wife got flowers.
Uh-oh.
My information and Camille's information is months late.
Oh, they're late. When's the actual date? So it's really October 22nd. So maybe they changed the date.
Well,
Anyway.
Oh, I hate hospitals.
Did they call?
Yeah, that was the ringing. That's why I muted myself.
What did I tell you?
They just wanted to give me more crappy news. My good
Willing to share?
my good cholesterol levels are way lower than normal, and my bad cholesterol levels are higher than normal.
Are you on some cholesterol medicine?
Oh yeah.
So they need to change it.
So John Wayne donated $3. I just watched a Cinnabon ride a horse. I hear he's afraid of riding. Well, saddle up anyway, coward. Hell, I was an old man and I had no problems. Watch my movies and learn how to ride.
And Mr.
Wow.
Lundell, I think you mentioned that you have some John Wayne movies.
Yeah, I had a double feature today.
Oh, very cool. I saw, not that it's John Wayne, but what is it? Gran Turismo? Is that the movie?
Gran Torino with
Gran
Eastwood.
Torino, yes, is on HBO Max. So
I still haven't seen that movie. You know,
it's a good movie. I saw it when it first came out,
yeah.
and again when it hits, like, I don't know, DVD, but I haven't watched it since. It's a pretty good movie.
I mean, hell, that figures. Eastwood, to me, he's been on a roll since Unforgiven when it comes to making good movies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I've seen them all, but that particular one, it's not a happy movie, but it's a movie. It's a drama for sure.
Oh, dramas are great. You should watch more dramas.
Man,
I
after
like
holding those cats, I have more hair on me than Bert.
That's probably not possible. I didn't have my mirror today because Mama Frey was using it to try and plug the power into the television. And so when I had to shave, I just put on my webcam so I could see where I was shaving, and I had no shirt on, and just the hair from the chest up was like so crazy. I was like, oh my God. I was debating taking a picture and just doing a still photo for just how literally how airy I was. It was hard for me to even believe.
Are you going to use it as your avatar?
I'm not using it as an avatar.
He should use a tribble.
Mama Frey really wants a picture of me with the heavy beard I had in the hospital.
That one picture, that is really pity that the picture doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You would probably put Epic Beer to shame with that one.
Jedi Bill, you could certainly come on. We got room for a couple more people. I just put up the link a minute or two ago. We can have more guests. There's no hard rule of 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay even the whole stream up because obviously it's closing to midnight. So I will stay for maybe another few minutes, and then I will just go to listening mode. Brushing my teeth and going to bed.
I heard you, instead of brushing your teeth, you can just bite into a cucumber. It does the same thing.
How?
I don't ask. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. That's just what I read on YouTube.
Don't believe everything you read. Ricky, hello.
It said 6 out of 7 dentists agree biting a cucumber is more effective than flossing and brushing.
I think you need to ask a dentist about that.
Now I only have cucumbers and I don't have toothbrushes anymore.
Wow.
And
by the way, my teeth are not doing well.
Start using a toothbrush.
Yeah.
I have like 32 of those.
I used to buy the toothbrush in packs of like 20 and stuff. I never got a long use out of them. Welcome, Ensign Ricky.
Hi, Ensign Ricky. I'm using the Sonic from Philips, I think. Is it?
I'm using a spinning one that the dentist wanted me to use it. I forget who it's from, but it was Spin Brush. And welcome, Jedi Bill, to the stream. I think it's your first time on my stream.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome,
Hello, Jedi Bill.
Hello, how's it going?
Welcome to the club.
All right.
Oh,
Ricky,
in the car.
driving?
Yeah, working.
Yeah. Show me some pizza.
You got some pizza on the way?
There it is.
Doggone now.
Be careful.
Yeah, no, it's we're busy, man. It's back to 60-hour weeks for me.
And Jedi Bill came on camera and waved. Thank you, Jedi Bill. And now we have
Momo.
DJ wearing his DJ mask. Oh, I mean Momo wearing his DJ mask. I mean DJ wearing his Jody mask. Oh, he's challenging you, Joseph.
Yes.
He's pointing at you.
I will accept the challenge.
You will accept the Momo challenge.
Will you accept the Momo
All,
challenge?
all the Momo challenges, you got to get a Momo picture. So whenever Alexander shows up and you're on a stream, you put it up to freak him out. That's all the Momo challenge is.
That's an easy one.
Sci-Fi Guy says, DJ, I tried your Yacon root extract, 1,000 milligram, 1 capsule per day. After 1 to 2 months, the clinic said my numbers were dead on. She was very pleased. I guess for your cholesterol.
The thing with cholesterol and blood pressure is
Yacon?
always
YACON root extract, 1,000 milligrams, 1 capsule per day.
Well, they just
Yucca?
told me yesterday that all this stress and the pain could be the thing that's causing all these things to go out of whack. So I don't even know why they bothered to call me, because I got to be there at 8:30 tomorrow morning. They could have told me then.
But this way it can bill you again.
Yep,
Yep.
that's how they do it.
They ain't billing me. They're billing the insurance company.
they're billing someone, so they are getting their money one way or another.
Wow, that is some mask.
Bro.
I would cross the other side of the street if I saw someone wearing that.
Dare me to go into a bank like that.
Well, now in the
No, I'm not eating mushrooms, Bunny.
The funny thing is, I went to the bank to do some transactions there, and I had my face mask, sunglasses, and a cap on. So I looked really very suspicious. Yeah. I looked very suspicious. So I removed the cap and the sunglasses. So because the face mask is still mandatory, but
too bad you're not legally allowed to open carry, and you could have been really impressive.
Yeah. It's open carry is not even allowed here, I think, except like police.
Yeah, most of Europe's like that. I understand.
Concealed
Will they
carry
even
you
let
can
you
have.
touch a gun where you live?
Concealed carry is not a problem. It's not a problem. It's but most of it it's like categorized here. Like A is concealed carry. B is you can have a gun at home in your home. So and when you are transporting it, you have to have the bullets outside of the gun.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's
That's real intelligent. You know, what good is a gun if it's empty?
That's why
that's the other category. That's the other category. When you have
they don't want you shooting somebody, they just want you like, hey,
concealed carry means basically you can have a loaded gun, but if you don't have the permission to have a concealed carry, you have the other category, and you can basically have it in your home, so like as a home protection. And if you need to transport it something, or you are going to a shooting range or something, you have to have the gun separate and the bullet separate. If you have not the
better
correct
than
permission.
New York City. I think it is better. More
Illinois is
lax
even
than
worse.
New York
Illinois
City.
is the same way. You can't have bullets in the gun. The gun's got to be in the glove box. Bullets got to be in the trunk. You can't have together. So if you get
I'm not even sure if you can have. I'm not even sure you can have it in the cabin. So I think you can have it in the trunk only.
Yeah, I mean, you have to keep ammo separate in Illinois from the gun. So I mean, if you get carjacked, you have to tell them to hold on a minute while you go down to your trunk, then load your gun, and then tell them you're ready.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, see, that's liberal fascist logic in this country. That's why so many people are going to end up putting Trump back in office. Wait and
Well, I
see.
mean, what I don't understand is in fucking when I was in Arizona, you can carry a bloody axe down the fucking street and no one cares. You know what I'm saying? They have gun checks in at bars. Walmart will put up there, please don't bring guns into the building. But I mean, everybody, it's open carry there. So I mean, like, you literally, there's old dudes that look like they're from the fucking Old West carrying
Mhm.
6-shooters on the side, and you're gonna tell them no? Fuck no. That motherfucker will shoot you and kill you, and he don't give a fuck because he's got like 5 years to live.
Yeah,
You
in
know what
my
I'm saying? Like, we can
in
do
my
put him in
city
prison.
downtown, they all carry guns. There's nothing but courts down there, and it's like the old west. It's like everybody wears guns downtown Tucson.
Yeah, seriously, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Arizona, I mean, like I said, I walked into a Walmart, and like I said, there's this one dude, looked like he was fucking Billy the Kid, like dressed like the Old West, and like no one even fucked with him. No one's gonna fucking fuck with him. Like I said, you don't fuck with old people with guns, dude. Like I said, they have literally like 5-10 years to live, and if they kill you, are they gonna throw them in jail for life? What is that? 2 years? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, and half the time they get off, the seniors. So I mean, it's like that's the last people you want to fuck with a gun.
Let's talk Star Trek. It says, Bird of Prey, have you heard? The bird is the word. Hey, buddy. You know, I've heard it on occasion.
What bird?
That the bird is the word, whatever word it is. The word is given.
There's a word, the word, the bird, the word, what don't you know about the bird?
It came right after the humunga cowabunga from down under.
Ricky, you have a few pizza orders here in the chat.
I'm sure I do. I got a few pizza orders made for me at the store too. I got to run
So-
there and fucking pizza.
Domino's advertises that they heat their pizza to 450 degrees and then they don't touch it until, you know, after they put it in the box. Is Papa John's the same?
Yeah, I mean our ovens are at 485 though.
485. That's even more impressive than Domino's.
Yeah, and our ovens cook in 6 minutes.
Nice.
Yep. Right now it's a busy season. Like I said, I'm back to 60-hour weeks for me, man. Fucking, I live here.
485. I assume you're talking Fahrenheit, not Celsius, because
Yeah,
We're talking
you would-
Kelvin.
I mean,
you
like
would
right
have.
now in Florida, it's 28 degrees Celsius, which is fucking sounds low, but it's hot.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
because with 450 you get basically charcoal immediately.
Pretty much. You get fucking incinerated at 450 degrees Celsius. But it's funny because, you know, it's like when they reset my car, they reset it to Celsius because I had my battery replaced. And it was in kilometers in Celsius. So I looked down, I'm like, holy shit, I'm doing 90? I'm like, oh, shit. No, I'm only doing like 60. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you were
Like,
doing 60. Yeah.
that shit jumped up there real quick. I'm like, man, I don't even feel like I'm doing 90. But yeah, my temperature said it was like 30 degrees Celsius yesterday. So I mean, it's only 28 today.
My uncle had I think it was an El Dorado or something, but it had a digital speedometer, and this was like in the mid 80s, late 80s, which was pretty rare at the time.
Oh,
So when we were like driving down the highway, he'd put it into kilometers, and I look and I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I'm doing 80, 90, and he starts shaking the car, and I'm like scared shitless, like we're going 90 miles an hour. Didn't occur to me that, you know, we weren't passing everybody, but at least not that quickly.
Right.
But he'd get
Well, the funny
me.
thing is in Arizona, like all the speed limits are like 50 in Arizona, but everybody does 90 because you have to fucking and it's fast. Arizona's huge. Phoenix is huge, and so I mean, like I had my grandmother in the car, and she's like stickler speed limit, and she has me doing 55, and I have cars flying on me, like I thought I was gonna die. I mean, like she's like, I don't care what their cars are doing. You're doing the speed limit. I'm like, oh my god, we're dead. We're fucking so dead. Fucking cars are flying past us like 90. I'm like, everybody's like beeping at us and shit. She's like, don't pay attention to them. I'm like, you're gonna kill us, grandmother. You're gonna
I
kill us.
remember parts of Arizona, even though it was broad daylight, it like drive with your lights on and don't stop because the hitchhikers, there's a jail nearby. Like no stopping for any reason.
Yeah, Tent City.
Yeah. Just keep on driving, and then for whatever reason you needed your lights on, even in the middle of
it's
the
just
day.
like people realize like Phoenix is like I think Phoenix and all that whole area is 90 by 90 square miles. It's huge. I mean, like my closest friend was 40 miles away in Mesa.
This was
And,
between like Yuma and Phoenix.
Oh, Yuma! I've been to Yuma a couple times. Yuma is the hottest it's ever been for me. That's the hottest temperature I've ever been in my life. It was 124 that day.
Yuma was the one time I actually got stuck in a sandstorm, like my first sandstorm, I should say. I was driving from San Diego to Yuma, and on the horizon, it's just the middle of the day. It's just getting blacker and blacker. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And so, like, right before we hit, there was an exit. So I pulled off and into a gas station. And I just pulled into a spot and ran in the gas station. And sure enough, the sand blew. Like, everybody held the doors closed, and just it blew over in like 10 minutes. Afterward, there was sand on everything. Never seen that before.
It's the first time I've seen tumbleweed out there too. Just got to Arizona where my dad was staying. I went in the back and I lit up a bowl and I watched a piece of tumbleweed come over our fence and go over the other fence. And I was like, yep, I'm in the desert.
Yeah, tumbleweeds, the sandstorms, and dust devils. And the dust devils.
Lots of cactuses.
Oh, yeah, cactus. Yeah.
But
thankfully,
yeah,
I haven't seen any scorpions.
And the fucking fucked up thing was we had one of those big cooler thermal coolers, like it would keep soda in with the tap on it, and we would just fill it with ice in the morning. And by the time it was noon, it was all water inside the thermal cooler. I mean, that's how hot it gets there. But Yuma was 124 that day. The shade was 112. We had to put up a sign. One of the worst days of my life, dude. It was so fucking hot. I mean, it was just like, oh my god, how 124 degrees. Shit was insane.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've been to Scottsdale at 120 and Vegas at 120 or 121. And I used to think, I mean, from someone who lived in New York, I was like, is it really any worse once it get past 100? I mean, like, is 110 really any different than 120? And yeah, you know what? It really is. It really is.
Like
110, I could.
Well, I mean, it's like
110, I used to be able to do.
Negative temperatures too. I mean, there's a huge difference between 20 and negative 20.
Yeah, that's another thing I like. If it gets cold, it's just cold, right? Whether it's 20 or 0 or minus 10, it's just cold. It doesn't really matter, but it matters.
It matters. It matters. Absolutely, 100% matters.
I'm a little confused. As Pronos asked, Bird of Prey, did you just get racist? That's when I was talking about Arizona. I don't know why he would say that.
It was getting darker and darker.
Oh no, I didn't mean it that way.
Face palm.
Yeah.
Double face
I
palm.
like Arizona for a couple of things where like you can see storms coming in on the horizon, and like literally when the storm's above you, the temperature drops like 20 degrees in an instant, and like storm hits you and like you can watch it fly away from you. It's crazy. You watch it 10 miles out, you can watch it come towards you. It's so crazy. That's one of the weird things about being. It's like, oh, storm's coming. I see it.
I didn't cause any international incidents. Aussie O'Prey might have, but I didn't.
Yet.
Yeah, Scottsdale's nice. I like Scottsdale.
Mission Beach is cool in San Diego, and so is La Jolla to see the seals. I used to go to La Jolla all the time, Zachary. I've been to La Jolla for probably 30 times. That's where I used to stay when I would go to San Diego for work. Beautiful place, La Jolla. Right off La Jolla Village Drive. I used to be at the Residence Inn, which was like across the highway from the beautiful Mormon temple. I didn't know what the hell it was. When I first pulled up, the first time I went to La Jolla, I'm looking over, I was like, what the fuck is this, Disney World? It looked like Cinderella's castle. And I drove over there, and it was a Mormon temple. And apparently, unlike a church, you're not allowed in a Mormon temple unless you're.
Yeah.
So, but it was a beautiful building. The architecture was nice. I admired it from afar.
Bert, I think you missed a donation from Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Biggest church I ever saw was Cologne, Germany, by far. That fucking thing is huge.
Joe Biden donated $1. Mr. Lundell is voting for me anyway because I care about his people my entire life.
Joe, get screwed.
I single-handedly ended slavery and gave the right to vote. Nice mustache, DJ Adi. Can I sniff it?
No.
Okay.
Thanks
all
for
the white
donating
guys,
the
all the
$1.
young white guys, tell that old white guy to get screwed.
We got to tell the old white guy to get screwed. And he said, "Thanks for donating the $1, Berto Bray. I really need it." I didn't donate $1 to you, Joe Biden. You donated the $1 to me. It's not how it works. It's not how any of this works.
Okay, all you lefty liberals, that's what you want for president? Think about this real hard, okay? Y'all done messed around, got rid of everybody else. There's not going to be a convention, it doesn't look like. So you can't get rid of him there. You're stuck with an old senile white guy. Think about it.
Well,
He talked about the little kids that were
I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
going up his leg. Take care, Anson Ricky.
Did you see that video with him with the juicy fart?
I did not.
That was hilarious.
I don't think I need to go seek out that type of video.
No, probably not.
Oh, you could tell
And
it was
Captain Trek is in the house. Welcome, Captain Trek.
Thank you.
Trek.
What is going on this evening?
We're all voting for Joe Biden, Captain Trek. We decided.
Okay, where did you
Not
get
I.
in line for the pot? Because
Joe Biden is running on the platform of firing Alex Kurtzman, so he's got my vote.
I'm
Okay,
not voting
well,
for him.
that would be a reason to consider.
No, that's a deal with the devil.
And he's going to bring in Kathleen Kennedy instead to run Star Trek.
See, I told you, it's a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Also, he's going to play the Federation president.
Are you due for a colostomy or something, Bird?
Do you think a colostomy is going to help me?
Can't hurt.
No.
Just flush it out a little bit, Bird.
Once there's room, come on. Let's talk Star Trek. There's the link.
I will drop off. Okay.
Special permission needed. Hey, hang out, Joseph. You don't have to. don't have to go.
But anyway, it's like 20 after midnight. I really
Okay.
want to
probably
go
need
to
to get
bed.
to
So
bed.
I will stay in the chat. I will listen and type some stupid stuff
your
anyway.
dog,
And you
your
have very good panel to have a interesting discussion here. So definitely thank you very much for having me, and guys,
Yeah.
have fun.
Joseph needs some sleep because I'll be up in the middle of the night streaming probably, and
Yeah, and then I will wake up and come on like around 8 of my time. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you in the chat. Bye.
Take care, Joseph. And who do we have? LDG is in the house. LDG is next. Welcome, LDG. Wow, a lot of static, LDG.
What in the hell was that?
kick him out because he's going to keep doing that until he logs out anyway.
Okay, well, now we've got NB Geek, and AKA Let's Talk Star Trek.
Let's talk Star Trek.
Qapla, Let's Talk Star Trek.
Hey,
I just got to say something. LTG is supposed to be this big computer whiz, and this is 2 days in a row he's come in with his mic screwed up. Let's remember that, folks.
Hey, no offense, but listen, us IT guys, even we run into problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trace
happens.
Tribbles.
But
The
I'd love to give him
Tribbles got him.
shit.
I was going to say, didn't LDG spend time fixing your computer, DJ?
Yeah, I know, but I just love to give him shit.
Yeah, I understand. I think we all do.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
He doesn't
Why
want
we-
me to give him shit about flirting with the women, so I got to go with picking on him about the mic issues.
Could be worse. It
He
could
was
sound like
flirting
my
with
mic.
women? Who is he flirting with?
He's flirted with multiple women on my streams.
So that's why you wanted Ellie all to yourself. I mean, didn't let anyone on with Ellie.
No, I wanted Ellie to be able to talk without being hit on. I was a perfect gentleman during that stream.
Now, maybe I misheard, but I didn't think Ellie would be interested in any of the dudes hitting on her, or maybe I misheard.
I just wanted her to have a nice stream and let her gradually work her way into dealing with them. I'm good that way, once in a while.
That's some beard you got there. Let's talk Star Trek. You're muted though. You've got yourself muted.
Oh, thank you on my beard. I've actually spent 1.5 years on it. I was clean shaven because I was in the military for 20 years, and it was kind of a present to myself. And yeah, I like to play with it a little bit. I like to, do all these weird things with it, touch it, call me crazy, but it's just nice to have something I don't have. And by the way, I have got to say something. Mr. Is it Lundell's Groovy Movies? Am I saying that right?
Yes.
I am now officially your biggest fan.
Okay. What did I do to deserve that?
Oh, the way you attacked Joe Biden, I'm like, I'm all on board with this guy. This guy knows what he's talking
Joe
about.
Biden's an easy mark. Okay, so that's an easy mark. All you gotta do is look at 5 minutes of whatever he says.
Yeah, but you see, if I say it, it doesn't mean anything. You saying it actually carries weight.
Mamo Prey is convinced he's not going to be the nominee.
I've been wondering. I am still sitting here wondering if that's really going to play out or not. Is it going to be? I mean, who are they going to? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is one of the worst candidates you could put up. I mean, the guy literally said, and I don't care how much you want to say, oh, it was a joke that he said, if you, what was it? The Trump or him, you ain't black. I don't care if that was a joke. And I may be a white guy, but that was
he wasn't joking.
Joke. I know he wasn't joking.
You looking at
even to call it a joke is like he was insulting an entire demographic. And to me, this is like literally, in my opinion, it's a little different. It's probably very different, but this is literally like the basket of deplorables Hillary said, in my opinion. That is the similar aspect. To sit there and say that, oh, you're a certain race, you should vote for me. That's, that pisses me off. As a conservative, as an American conservative, that kind of mentality pisses me off like you would not believe.
Is there anybody in the chat? I'm just curious. Who is for Joe Biden? Because as much as I, love making fun of Joe Biden, I don't want an echo chamber, and I hesitate when it's everybody seems to be on one side of the aisle.
Echo chambers are good, Bird. Echo chambers are good. Yeah.
They're not the worst thing. I grant you that. But I'm going to specifically put out a request. If there's anybody who feels differently, please do come up. I would love to hear from you. I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm not going to attack you.
I will.
Oh, Mr. Lundell might, but I'm not.
No,
Hey,
I mean,
I'm gonna say I love Mr. Lindell's talk and everything already. I mean, I think he's got something hands down.
Qapla Pluggerville.
So, Bird of Prey 5, what's the topic for today, buddy?
We don't have topics around here. Topics are too much. Topics are too much work. Whatever we want to bring up, we bring up. We're talking about Biden. We're talking about Biden. We want to talk about why the Trials and Tribulations is the best Star Trek episode ever, or not. We can talk about that.
Oh, well.
Wait a minute. I'm going to show my age.
Pale Moonlight is the best Trek episode ever.
Thank
okay?
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I put it as a very second close.
I just want to show my age real quick. I'm voting for Randy of the Redwoods.
Randy of the Redwoods.
Only somebody that
Pale
remembers.
Moonlight.
Only somebody that remembers MTV from the start will know that reference.
And
what
Jedi
was the
Bill
reference
put in a
again?
$4.99 super chat. Jedi, even though you're in the panel already, he says, Qapla, live long and prosper. Thank you so much, Jedi Bill.
You're welcome.
And we've got
Yeah,
LDG
Mr. Leonard.
back.
Yeah, Mr.
LDG.
Leonard. Oh, sorry. Mr.
No problem.
Groovy Movies, when he brought up Pale Moonlight, I'm just like, that is the episode. And, you know, Captain Cisco is my captain. I mean, you know, when he said, so I lied, I cheated, I bribed a man to cover up the crimes of another man. I'm an accessory to murder. But the most damning thing is, I think I can live with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That right there was
Kirk would do that. See,
Yes.
that's what people
Hi,
don't
Lori.
realize.
I love you.
Lori
what-
Roberts is in the house. Qapla, Lori Roberts.
But yeah, no, the way that the Pale Moonlight, I mean, think about it. When it comes to Star Trek, this is why I even started my panel. Is, you know, you think about Star Trek, TOS, TNG, and DS9. I mean, the fact that, you know, Mr. Groovy Movies here is like the Pale Moonlight. It's like he remembers the title. I mean, name a show you remember the title of what's going on other than Star Trek. I don't know any other channel. I don't know any other show where I know the titles like I know Star Trek.
There's
Now,
one.
when you say-
Classic Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah,
come to
okay.
mind.
Twilight
okay.
Zone. Then
Okay,
there's another. The
Some
Orville.
some of the original Outer Limits episodes.
Hmm.
If you ever got into that.
For me, also the Orville.
Oh my goodness.
About
Groovy
a
Movies,
girl,
like,
mad ideology, majority rule, and the stars should appear. Identity 1 and 2.
oh yeah, I know. I mean, but you know, I'm thinking of Orville is still a very new show. Don't get me wrong, I love Orville. Fuck, my son even today was like, when is Orville season 3 coming out? I'm like, I don't know, son. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a while.
Oh my goodness, he's already tore through both seasons and he loves it. And I'm like,
LDG,
well,
is your audio working at LDG? That's a negative. That's a big negative, LDG. You still got to fix your
He's
microphone.
got a loose wire somewhere, sounds like it.
It sounds like he's some type of
Sounds like he's a
reptile.
Georgia machine.
It sounds like he's like a snake. Like
No, it's a Georgia machine.
no, Geologian machine.
He's got
Doesn't
the
sound like that.
Okay, let's go there. For example, the amazing thing about Orville right there is they made a whole episode about a guy going pee, and they made you actually care about the fact that he was going to the bathroom. They made it historical and cultural to his people. I mean, it made something so mundane to the rest of us sound so important to one group of people. And it was like, that is what the Orville needs to be, because that is what Star Trek should be. And that's how Star Trek is. I mean, the whole episode was about him going to take a pee and having people watch him. Yeah, it sounds
Like,
stupid.
I really wonder if they had any plans to do anything about their once annual urination when in the series premiere, it was really just a one-off line for joke about Mocklins urinate only once per year. And Ed says, "Oh, I get up 2-3 times a night," and he's like, "That's unfortunate." Like, I don't think they had any idea that they were going to go there. I think they were just saying that line to make the Ed say that line. But I think it's great that they did that they revisited it, and it wasn't just something they said and forgot and never talked about again.
I agree. They really went into it was like, I got to go pee, and there's a whole tradition. And I was like, wow, you're gonna make a whole tradition out of this? I'm like, that is from what we all would have thought as a throwaway line. I'm like, that is some good forward thinking. I think maybe it may have been a throwaway line, but I think somebody in the writing room picked up and said, hey, wait a minute. We said Mocklins only urinate once a year. I think we can make a story out of this. And I'm sure, Seth MacFarlane was probably in the writing room and be like, okay, how do we do this? How do we make, this into a good episode? And, he's got good writers. He's got good staff. So they somehow managed to do it. And, this is the same crew that took 2 men and made a single sex race and, made us care about them. And it was just because it was natural. It was organic. And, that's why I think a lot of people hate Star Trek, CBS Star Trek currently, and love the Orville because, Seth MacFarlane has done a good job, bringing back what we all loved about Star Trek, which is self-contained stories. And the one thing he's done better is, and I'm sorry to say, but the truth of the matter is, let's be honest, Orville is Star Trek without the stick up its ass.
Please tell me this is working.
No, not working yet, LDG.
All I hear is
No, I was kidding, LDG.
Oh, no,
It was perfect.
Oh, no.
It was perfect.
Turn to pray.
Also, he had his name as LDS.
LDG. Come on back.
Come on back, LDG. It was fine. I thought you'd understand that I could only answer you if I knew what you asked. Let me put it in the chat. Let me put it in the chat.
Bird, I didn't know you could be so evil.
I didn't mean to be evil. I thought it was a joke.
You always struck me as the nice guy in this group.
I am the nice guy. When I used to go to California.
Speaking of which, how's Mama Bird doing?
Mama Prey is doing well. She's resting and reading and
son of a bird.
There you go.
There we go.
And it's funny too because as soon as I got out, I hit play to hear you say, "I'm joking." No, come back. Good work. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened with my mic.
I think you're
he's
doing
gonna defend old Joe.
LDS there.
I was told so. I'm LDS today. Filled with LDS. How's it going, everybody? DJ, Mr. Londell, Jedi, and NB.
Good.
How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. Today was a little rough, but smooth out.
It couldn't have been worse than mine. I had a bad hangover. If you see me on Twitter, I said, did Captain Scott say it? Don't party too hard the night prior unless you're willing to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather have given an IOU, but I had to live with the hangover.
Well, it was nonstop rain in Florida. My pool is basically overflowing. My had to deal with a clogged pipes this morning, everything was overflowing this morning. So lots of fun.
First world problems. My pool is overflowing. Oh
Hey,
my
LDS,
God.
where do you
Okay.
live in Florida?
I can see SeaWorld from my house.
Oh, I used to. Well, my mother lives in Jacksonville, and I used to live in. Oh shit! What was the name of the place? It was where the military base is down near the center. Oh shit, McDill. I was at McDill for 3 years, so you know.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Nope,
good
over in
place. I
Orlando.
like. Oh yeah, I love Orlando. I mean, you know, actually, when I took my kids to go see Disney World, we didn't tell them they were going until they saw that little panel that has the Mickey Mouse ears. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. And then they were like, "We're going to Disney World," and you know, we kind of smiled, and they just lost their minds.
Yep, that'll do it. That and Chuck E. Cheese's.
But they can't. He can't do.
But yeah, no, too much fun.
You can see SeaWorld, is that you said from your house?
Yeah, SeaWorld has a. It has.
So why don't you
what do
just use their pool?
Yeah. Tell me about it.
No, they got rid of Shamu, but the pools are still there. I think penguins use them now or something.
I think they got like
Sea
Shamu's
lion.
kid or something now, or something.
Do they still have the whale there? I thought they got rid of him.
I don't know. I think they got rid of Shamu, but got replaced with something. I think I don't know. SeaWorld isn't what it used to be anymore, so it's changed.
I remember being there as a kid in the front row, and the whale would jump up, and that giant wall of water would come. But we were so hot that we were happy. Ah, doggo on the stream.
But that's so inhumane to the whale, though. So
What's the name? You're still muted, Star Trek.
I don't think you can hear you.
Oh, now I can't hear you either.
Silent film.
Oh no.
I can
There
hear
we
you,
go.
except for
I can't hear him.
No, I guess I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Nope. I can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear you when you said, "Can you hear me?"
Okay.
What's the doggo name? No, it's weird. We can't hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
There a mute button on his headset. Maybe that guy hit.
Probably.
Tribbles. Yeah.
The dog probably hit the mute button.
It's on the keyboard. Adjust the neutron flow.
Loki's doing a pop stream about the riots.
I saw. In fact, I went over there and I commented on it. Good for him. I mean, I don't know if I want to talk about the riots for a whole stream, but somebody should. So if you guys do want to speak about the riots, then by all means head over to Loki's stream.
Oh, I almost pivoted. I had a stream a couple hours just before your stream, and I almost pivoted and was going to talk about that because I found out of all places Facebook.
Amazon Prime for streaming, Mr. Lundell?
For Twilight Zone, I think you can stream Twilight Zone there because I noticed Joseph asked about it.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Amazon Prime was going into like YouTube streaming or something. I was like,
no.
Yeah, the original Twilight Zone. Robert Rose Jr. says hello to Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, and Sassy. And hello to everyone else. Thank you, Robert Rose Jr.
And for the record, I was nothing but a gentleman to Ellie. I wasn't even hitting on her. For the record.
You couldn't. You weren't on the stream.
Well, I was in the chat, and I was talking to her, and she was what do you call it? Identifying with me, and she even quoted me on a stream that I was surprised anybody even listened to, and I was like, awesome, thank you. She's cool. I'm already subbed to her channel. We'll see what I'm interested in seeing what she does. No, see, that's not hitting on anyone. I'm just paying her a compliment. Now
Nobody
Fitzgerald is
believes.
yeah. No, I know. All right, so I gotta make it worth my name here. Let me see what I can do for you guys. 1 second. Yeah. Do. Here we go.
And now we have dead air that Cronus is going to comment on at any moment. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Well, I took my mic off. I don't know if that helped any.
There we go.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. So to answer y'all's question, this is Luke. This is my 6-year-old puppy. He is named after Luke Skywalker. And he's just my little puppy dog. With us. Yeah. And he loves to go for walks. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Luke. What, you want to look at something you want? Kisses? Kisses. Oh, I love you. He's such a good dog. Such a good dog. Oh, looks like the kids want the dogs now, so I have to give them up.
Oh, I hope we don't have anybody epilepsy trying to
Really, Jade?
Poor Luke. I have to shut off the new television so Mom will pray.
How is that, by the way?
It's nice. It's unfortunately it's not as high as I wanted it, but it's not bad for now. Mom will pray just moving the outlet from
See you, Jeff.
Jeff is leaving.
See you,
Take care.
Well, if it's not as high as you wanted it, Bird, get it stoned.
I don't think it works that way, DJ.
I don't know how that stone thing works, so.
My dogs are lazy, says Joseph, but the beagle is 13. Sassy, you're not lazy, are you?
You know what? The beagle is 13. That is total justification to be lazy.
Yeah, that's not lazy. That's just the
God, I
beagle
hate
who's
this
tired.
camera in my house. I hate this fucking window in my house. I can't get my camera to.
Cover the window with cardboard.
Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, I know. I need to get around to that.
Or some darkening curtains.
What are you, Shirley? You're a cocoon. I thought you were a banana. You're in a cocoon. Are you in a cocoon and a banana? Okay, then you're a banana cocoon.
Looks like LDS is going to step through the Stargate.
Yeah, LDS. You better send the MALP through first. Jan23 likes Porthos from Enterprise. That's why Enterprise is one of my favorite treks. Porthos is a top character.
I love the introduction of the little puppy. It kind of reminds me of Crimson Tide.
I was watching the episode today that had Seth MacFarlane as an engineer on the Columbia, and was it Trip asked him, they were arguing over the variance and something, and Trip's like, it can't be more than 0.3. He's like, the manual says 0.5. And so Trip asked him, do you know who wrote that? He's like, warp field specialists. And at the time, it really didn't sound funny, but now that I think about it, it was actually a pretty funny line. Like, yes, warp field specialist wrote it. Who the hell are you? But
well, it all comes down to, that's always the fun thing when you're a technician like I am versus an engineer. An engineer is all about theory and practicality, whereas I am, hey, I've got to fix this shit you invented. So don't tell me how it works. I'm going to tell you how it works. And I'm going to tell you how to fix the damn thing, because I'm the guy who has to fix this cool-ass piece of equipment you made.
well, maybe if you kept it within the specs, it wouldn't need to be fixed.
And unfortunately, alpha and beta testing only does so much. Unfortunately, that's why you'll have Windows and such. They always send out updates because they have to. Apologies.
It's not too much to ask that every customer has a clean install and uses no other programs but the programs that are sent to them.
Well, then they'd lose the money. Sorry. I know the routine. Trust me, I've already had unfortunately, as an IT guy, and I've had to take my computer to get repaired, knowing exactly what was wrong, but not having the equipment to fix it, and have them say, well, we've installed this on your computer and stuff. And I was like, I didn't ask you to put shit on my computer. I asked you to fix it. Get your crap off my computer before I take custody of it. And they looked at me like I was out of my mind. I'm like, do I look like I'm joking?
Are you calling McAfee and Norton crap?
Yeah. Yeah. Basic stuff like that. I'm like, I did not ask you to put new equipment. I asked you to fix my fucking. Could somebody please tell me how LDS is doing that cool shit? Because he looks like he's about to make out with himself.
Oh, he does that quite often.
Yeah, I know. I saw that on a previous video. I'm not sure where, but he always looks like he's about to make out with himself, or do his little hand thing here.
It's a little
crazy. It's kind of crazy and awesome at the same time.
I haven't asked, but I'm pretty sure he's just using XSplit and duplicating the camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is he could make 4 of himself and he could have a whole full-on orgy.
Oh, I can take it to the next level. I can go quantum with this if you guys want me to.
Hey, you know what, though? I still got the better hair. Sorry I went there. I still got my hair.
I'll give that to you. I love your beard, man.
You look like you got a good goatee going there.
Oh, this is a little bit right going on. I have to do something to asymmetrical everything.
Hey, trust me, I've seen clean-shaven, bald white people. Doesn't work. We got to have some hair on our faces. So when I finally have to shave my hair off after I go bald, I need the beard to kind of counteract it.
Yeah, my beard only looks good like right here. Any bigger and it starts looking funny. Wish I could have like the Cotton Eye Joe kind of thing like you got going on.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? God, Joe. Well, actually, I was fortunate. I had a year and a half to actually put this beard together, and thankfully, I have a wife who actually likes it. So I got lucky. And
Sure,
actually,
Kronos.
this is actually the beard length I'm going to go with. I'm going to just get get it trimmed a little bit down at the bottom and do this. And, I love it. I'm so thankful that I get the opportunity to do it. I'm also thankful that I got to serve my country for 20 years before I could do it.
20 years, were you going? Was that how long you wanted to be in, or?
No, nobody. Look, nobody really says I'm going to be in for 20 years unless they're out of their mind. We do our enlistments at like 3-4 year increments or 6 year increments, and it once you hit about 12, 13 years in, you have to make a decision. At that point, normally people say 10 years, but turns out that's inaccurate. It's around the 12, 13 year mark when you're going to be that close to the 20-year mark. Are you going to continue in the service to get that retirement? And I've known a lot of people who did not make it and said it just wasn't worth it for them. And I understood. If I stayed in that, I did 2 tours in 2 different branches. I did 4 years in the Marines, 16 in the Air Force. And, I just had literally today, I had a chiropractor appointment and found out my very lowest vertebrae, apparently the disc cushion is completely almost gone. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm 40 now and I'm in the Air Force. If I'd stayed in the Marine Corps, I don't know if it would have still been there. And I would have probably been in much worse pain and probably wouldn't have been able to retire. I probably would have gotten medically discharged. It just turns out, but man, you want to talk about some pain relief today when the chiropractor finally pushed my vertebrae in alignment. Oh my God.
Awesome that worked for you.
Well, I'm going to jump off here. I will talk to you later, Bird.
Take care, DJ, and
I'll still be in the chat.
Feel better. Yeah, hopefully you're not up too late.
Well, I'm sure I'll take a little nap and then I'll wake up in the middle of the night and that's when I'll hit the stream.
Okay, well, I'll look to see if you're still on in the morning. Jedi Bill, I'm sorry. I was just about to bring you in. Jedi Bill, if you're still here, please come back. I was saying, try to DJ. I was about to hit you back into the stream. Man, 16 years in the Air Force, 4 in the Marines, yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
I mean, I've quite a few YouTubers I know have served. Some of my friends have served, but 4, 5, 6 years, 7. I don't think I know anybody who was over 10.
You know what? To someone like me, it doesn't matter if they served 1 year or 20 years. Or even there are people that I've met who served longer than I did. It's still the simple fact, hey, we served, we did our time, and it sounds crazy sometimes, but we really did write a check for the full amount. And Memorial Day kind of came, and that Captain America comment, that one on comic book resources, and fucking I hate that fucking site to begin with, but my God, I was like, you really picked that topic on that day to commemorate people, and I'm sorry, no, actually, I'm not sorry. It pissed me the hell off because it was literally like, oh, you're selfish. I know a lot. I know quite a few people that since the Iraq wars and the Afghan wars, had lost their lives. So to me, it just pissed me off. And it takes a lot to piss me off, but every now and again, some asshole hits the right trigger. And when it comes to my fallen brothers and sisters, and then you want to take a fictional character and say, oh, well, he was selfish, I'm like, okay, it's game on. And the only reason I didn't say anything that day was because it was Memorial Day, and I said, I said on Twitter, I said, I'm going to be nice today to honor my fallen brothers and sisters. I'm going to, keep myself in check. But that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about it after the fact. I don't read that site, so if nobody had brought it up, I would never have known. It was just, I mean, they did end up deleting it, which I know is not, it's not the same as never doing it, but I think in today's day, that's actually considered a victory, I would say. The fact that they felt enough shame that they wanted to delete it and not even acknowledge it existed, I think that's about the best we could hope for.
They deleted it probably because of the shit they were getting.
You talking about the
Oh,
Captain America thing?
Oh my God, it was painful. I mean, I was talking to my other veterans, my fellow Marines, my fellow Air Force people in Air Force, and they were like, "What the fuck, man?" And I'm like, it's Captain America. Okay, it's Captain America. It's a fictional character, but he was the embodiment, the representation of American values. And they went and this asshole trashed him and said, oh, he was selfish because he wanted to fight for his country and didn't know his place and couldn't accept the fact that he was limited. No, that is the whole thing about America. We push ourselves beyond our limits, our strengths. We recognize our weaknesses and we try to push forward and push on and do better. And I mean, that is the American way of life. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I think every person in this country is beyond blessed and has an opportunity to do things that in other countries they wouldn't have it. I mean, I don't know any other country where they'd have the opportunity. I mean, for lack of anything else, let's be honest. I mean, I have friends who are across the pond, and I see their Twitter feeds, and they're like, somebody's like, saying, "Oh, watch your hate speech, watch this, watch that." I'm like, fuck you. I don't have to watch my speech. I'm a fucking American. I can say whatever the hell I want, accept the consequences.
I wonder if they would have said the 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds who weren't quite old enough to legally go in World War II, but they lied about their age and went anyway, if they were selfish.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Right? They were being so selfish because they wanted to go to the front lines and fight for their country and risk their lives, and they should have just stayed home and had a paper route or something.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, they did
and you know what? I've been saying. Oh, sorry, Mr. Groovy Movies. I was gonna say, I've learned something. If I know anything about Americans, it is we don't like being told what we can't do. And with that, Groovy Movies, man, kick off your saying.
Well, I was just going to add to that, these kids went and, died on beaches so a candy ass could write a hit piece on a character and piss veterans off for doing a job that he wouldn't do.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the words. It's not ironic. It's. I guess it's just. It's sad, or it's. Well, it's not
Well,
sad. It's the job. I almost think like that's the way. I mean, and you guys served, but not me. But I would imagine you wanted everybody to have that right, even if it was to criticize something. You'd rather that than them have to say something or be locked up for not towing the line like is happening in Europe now. Or
Well,
maybe
I've always said, and I have several people on my Twitter. I've said, I may not agree with your lifestyle, but I'll strap my gun on my side and march with you to defend your rights. Just because I don't agree with them doesn't mean they're not their rights. And I will stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone defending their American rights.
I agree. Well, I'm not physically able to put a gun on and march with them. I agree. I don't care what you have to say. If I might disagree with what you have to say, but I will do whatever I can to make sure you have the right to say it. I do it in my own way, which is probably, find a place where you can say it online. I got my forum. I've always been a very lax forum. People complain like, "You're going to let him say that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to let him say that. That's his right to say, as far as I'm concerned. Don't listen to him if you don't want to. Nobody's forcing you to read it."
Well, when I look at things as I say this, I'm a hardcore conservative. I have never made no bones, no mistakes. But with my page, for example, I left a Facebook page that changed the name from "I hate Star Trek" to what was it called? The leftists. I hate what leftists are doing to our culture, and and then I was seeing responses. People were like, "I'm leftist and I don't agree. I'm left and I don't agree." And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of a channel that's going to sit there and say that, act like that. I'm like, I'm not going to be a part of that. And I left, and Jack Beards, who was a guest on my show, he was like, "That's what they renamed it." The channel I left. I said, "Hey man, they don't need you. They don't need me. You know what? Just stick with guys like me. We're gonna have fun." And guys like Bird of Prey 5, Mr. Groovy Movies, Mr. LDS, we're here to have fun. We're not here to, go nuts. You want to go nuts and do stupid shit and try to make a political statement or a positive statement, go to another channel. Your channel, as far as I can tell, like mine is, when I talk about Star Trek, I just want to have fun talking about Star Trek. I want to stick with the issues. I don't want to go offline and talk about, Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I mean, we could sit here all day and go over that shit. But the simple fact is, when it comes to it, is when we're on, this kind of a stream, I want to come here and have fun. And guys like you, guys like me, I think we provide that fun. And I hope honestly everybody is entertained when they leave.
I definitely prefer talking about Star Trek, but I don't mind the occasional diversion into politics. I try not to stay there too long, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, but even some trick debates can get heated. Just okay, just think how many people want to eviscerate Anti-Trekker for his savaging of First Contact. I'm one of them. Now and then, look at that crazy video he did about the 3 different timelines, and I mean, like, Anti-Trekker, what have you been smoking? I mean, he can't
He's not
really.
smoking. He took those gummies when he was in Oregon last year.
He had to. I mean, just because he wants to say because Picard went back in time to stop the Borg at First Contact, that changed the timeline. No, it didn't.
Here, I'm going to smoke a little something.
That pre-temporal predestination thing, theory part, it was meant to happen. If you factor that in, he's not factoring anything like that in.
By Anti-Trekker's logic, anytime they broke the time barrier, that technically altered the future, without even discussing what was done. That doesn't even matter. The second you time travel, you've done something.
No, you don't, because what the TOS.
No, I'm saying
episode,
his.
I know, but the TOS episode. Oh God, what was the name of it?
City on the Edge of Forever.
City on the Edge of Tomorrow.
Not that one. The other one. With Gary Seven.
Yesterday's no.
God, that was a great episode, Gary Seven.
Yeah, and what happens is at the end of the episode, we find out they were supposed to be there because history records that a nuke exploded, in space, and that's what got people to talking about peace and put them on the road to where they are.
Assignment Earth.
Yeah, Assignment Earth.
Yes, Assignment Earth. God, what a great episode.
Wait a second.
What a great episode. That was actually, if I read correctly, was kind of a backdoor pilot.
Yeah, it was supposed to have been a pilot.
Wait a second.
I'll be honest. I would love to have seen a season or 2 of that.
Yeah, that was because the guy that played Gary Seven. I mean, back in the day, he was a pretty good actor, and he seemed to specialize in like sci-fi stuff, especially his television work.
I'm gonna have to watch that episode. So you're saying that because and this is what TOS it looks like. TOS,
yes, it's TOS
2. It looks like
Assignment Earth.
Okay, without giving me, I mean, you can give me the whole plot if you can, but I'm just trying to. Are you saying the actions of that time travel event caused humans to change towards the path of enlightenment?
Yeah.
Before First Contact?
Well, no, I'm saying it was meant to happen.
No, I know, I understand. I just want the facts real quick. Is that, am I correct in saying that?
Well, what you're correct in that at the end of the episode, they found out that history happened exactly like it was supposed to happen.
Yeah. They were supposed to be there.
No, okay, I get that. But what was the side effect that you're talking about that changed the humanity part?
Oh, they blew up a missile that was going to be testing a weapon. And I guess when it blew up, they didn't go down that road of using missiles in space or something.
That is interesting. Now, and then this person, was he a regular human or was he some kind of unknown variable?
He was a human who was...
We never... did we actually get told if he was human or not?
Yeah, he was human, but he had been taken to this other civilization, had taken so many humans back to their planet and trained them so that at particular times in history they could be sent to Earth to speed them along different technological ways or slow them down in some parts.
I'm gonna have to. I cannot believe this is the first time I've heard of. Because I mean, I've heard of the great TOS episodes, but I have not heard of this one.
This was supposed to be. This was a backdoor pilot They were hoping it did
Exactly.
better. They were hoping it would do better, and they would do seasons of Gary 7 in addition to Star Trek.
Yeah.
But
oh man, could you imagine what would have happened if Gary 7 had gotten greenlit? I mean, we could have had some great kind of episodes.
But actually, I think there's some novels. Some people have written some Trek novels with Gary 7 as well, because they tie him into the Botany Bay.
Really?
He helped Khan and those other augments actually escape.
What was the okay? I'm getting the plot line. The only thing I'm not getting is how did he get on the Enterprise to begin with? Was it like an unexplained malfunction?
Gary was never actually on the Enterprise. He was on Earth. That's why it was called Assignment Earth. He was never actually on the Enterprise.
No, he did.
I'm seeing him on the Enterprise.
Did he?
He got transported onto the Enterprise by accident. At the
Oh,
very
that's
beginning.
right. I apologize, but yeah. The end of the day, though, he was never actually trying to get on the Enterprise for any reason.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
so
it was an accident.
So it was an accident, but because of that accident, he went back to Earth with like Kirk and a team.
What it was I think Spock saw that there was a transporter beam coming in, and like they're like, we're not supposed to be transporters, and they got him on the Enterprise, and they kind of like debriefed him.
Yeah,
and he's like, you know, what are you guys doing here? And then he didn't tell them, but then they followed him to where he beamed down to. He snuck out and beamed himself down. They tracked to where he beamed himself to, and they followed him to his office on Earth.
What's this cat I'm seeing?
That's
cat. That was so funny. The whole cat thing. I would love it when the secretary was like, "Who is that?" That is my cat. Your cat. And then she turns around and it goes from a sexy woman to a cat. I was just like, and if you remember, that cat was always in that episode.
I think it was the same alien that was in Captain Marvel.
Was the cat
that was able to
or
rip out the eye of what's his face?
I'll have to watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I think that might be an interesting episode. I might need to look at.
Oh, definitely. The other interesting thing about it is it's the first time they use time warp around a star to go back in time.
Yeah, this is the first time they slingshot around the sun, right?
No, it was the second time.
The second time.
The second time, Mr.
The first time was an accident.
Right.
The first time it was an accident. The second time they knew they could do it. That's why they went back, because they were curious about how we didn't destroy ourselves at that time in history.
And then
all right, I've got to ask you a question, Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movies.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of USA's Groovy Movies?
A little bit.
I'll be right back, guys.
Go ahead.
Commander USA's Groovy Movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Commander USA's Groovy Movies.
So I just want to see if maybe this episode had something where it looks like there might have been a little outside interference that helped that episode even happen. And if I can find that, I'll make this episode a part of my my reviews. That
You're talking about shortly. Assignment Earth.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of I honestly think if they had commissioned a pilot and a series, I think it would have. I mean, it's just my personal opinion. I think it would have taken off, maybe a couple seasons. But I, when I found out it was a backdoor pilot, I was like, man, I would like to have seen what this said. For example, okay. Sorry about that. let's talk about this. People are talking about on various social media pages that the Snyder Cut is getting released on HBO, and this is a big win. And then I've heard some other people be like, well, what if it doesn't live up to the hype? And they're like, well, I don't care. This is a win for us. And I'm like, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I think it's a win. Is it going to be good? I guess we'll sit and find out. But I'm sorry. If you're someone like me, I'm sorry. I don't know how an extended cut is going to make Steppenwolf look any more than less than one dimensional.
Steppenwolf may not be in the Snyder cut. That was not Snyder's. Steppenwolf was not Snyder's idea.
And here's the thing. I understand, totally understand why Snyder quit. His daughter died, if I remember correctly, from suicide, and he tried to go back to work and tried to build himself, and then just realized he's like, I can't do it. I give the man all the credit in the world for trying to do something like that.
Sorry.
But at the end of the day, I don't blame him for walking away.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate.
That's an impressive screen you got there, LDS.
Yeah, I'm like really jealous that he's next to Morn.
Thank you.
I would be next to Lita personally, but whatever.
Me too.
Oh no! I'm the guy who would challenge Morn and who could talk the most. And I'd give Odo the bird just for fun.
Yeah, I think he's not liking me back here.
I love Morn. I actually did I did a fun meme on him not too long, about a year ago. I did I did a missing persons report on Morn, and it said Morn left, ran away, and after an STP marathon, destroyed the place. Witnesses say he said, "We're all doomed. Reward 10 bars of gold pressed latinum. Ask for quark."
Damn. Well, I got lucky.
Jadzia thought one was pretty sweet.
Who?
Jadzia. She liked Morn.
Oh, I think they did. I think
they
liked
did
him.
it.
Yeah, they hooked.
I think they did it.
I mean, she slept with
I think Jadzia and Morn boned.
She slept with the whatchamacallit that had a transparent skull, for God's sake.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pretty sure. Right, Morn?
And then there was that one where she's like, Kira's like, I don't think I could take his eye. And she's like, which one? and there's like the middle one.
The middle one.
Let's not forget. Morn had 10 years of 10 bricks of gold pressed latinum in his stomach, and he sacrificed his hair for it.
One of them.
Now, if that ain't dedication, I don't know what it is.
Do you remember the Nagus' butler?
Yeah, the big guy.
Yes.
Remember how he did not talk except for that one episode where he was impersonated by the wormhole aliens?
The wormhole aliens, yeah, because they're sworn
why didn't they do that?
They're sworn to silence, right?
What? Yeah, they're sworn to silence. Well, they can only speak to their master, and with exception to noises. But they should have done that with Morn. That was a perfect episode to throw Morn in there. I was glad to hear the butler.
I don't think Morn was part of the union. I don't think he was allowed to speak.
Actually, I've done quite a bit of research on the guy who played Morn, and he actually was expecting to get maybe be the final word. Finally get a word in edgewise.
What do you mean by
because
union?
always made him out to be a chatterbox. But it turns out there is I could be wrong on the nationality, but I believe there is a German version where Morn actually does speak.
Really?
I know I read that I know I read it somewhere. It might not be Germany, but I know it's not English, so go with German because it wasn't Spanish. But I mean, still, he was like, when I binged
Yes.
through DS9.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Holy schmoly, you're right. And it is German. The episode, the Jem'Hadar. He does speak in the episode, the Jem'Hadar, in a German version.
Joseph, you're going to
Wow.
need to translate.
Let's see if I can pull up a clip, maybe. Morn speaks. Here we go. Morn speaks. Wow, dude, you just rocked my world, sir. You just rocked my world. Morn spoke. Holy schmoly. I don't know if I can. This is the actor has a YouTube video where he's speaking as the actor.
I've got a text of what was going on.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long dialogue. It was only like a few words.
So
yeah, I'm not able to pull it. I wonder if they struck it or something, because I can't seem to pull anything up.
Oh, they were.
I can't imagine why they would. I can't imagine why they would pull it. That makes sense.
I see the memory. The memory alpha explains it.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, that's actually where I found out about that was memory alpha when I was looking up Morn, because I was looking that shit up, and I was like, I want to know more about this guy. So I did, and then I scrolled down, and I remember they said, something about he did speak.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. What's interesting?
It says here that says Shepard also added, there has been numerous scripts. Wow, how did I not read this? There has been numerous scripts where originally had Morn speaking. Numerous. One subscript had to do with the alternate universe. They always got written out. And that's from Shepard.
Oh,
wow. That's mind-blowing right there. Because the first time I saw that episode where Quark, the Who Mourns for Morn episode.
Oh my god!
I thought we were gonna hear Morn speak, and I'm like my eyes was never glued to the screen more. Like, and then Quark did all the talking for him. Shut up, Quark! Shut up! Let the man speak.
Yeah, that was always my thing. I was like, as I was binging through DS9, I was like, I really, as a now 40-year-old guy, I'm like, man, I love Morn. Morn is like the kind of guy I want to have a drink with. I want to have a beer with him. I mean, this guy is, and everything about him. I mean, what's funny is everything about that character is told by everybody else because he never says a fucking word.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts sometimes, but I just love the fact that I know so much about him. I mean, the fact that, okay, I'm going to say it. I fully believe Jadzia boned him.
Of course, multiple times, I'm sure. Multiple times. What's that, Morn? You going to say something? Okay. I always wanted, like, when as soon as we were having these cool get-togethers on YouTube, I'm like, man, I want to make some cool green screens, and what can I do? And I'm like, I want to sit with Morn. Yes. Yes. The problem is all the shots you can get from DS9 are all 4x3. So this is actually 2 scenes put together. The ones with the Dabo girls and then Morn. But I think I did a really good job. Like, you can't even notice because this is not one picture and I just put myself in it. This is the Dabo girls is actually another section of the bar. But I think I did a good job making it look. Yeah, right. If you pay attention, maybe you can notice. But I think at the same time, it does fool you. It does look normal.
Oh yeah, if you hadn't said anything, I probably wouldn't have noticed. Other than I think what's her name? Rom's wife, the Dabo girl there. She just looks a little out of place, and I would notice that, but I would say maybe a casual person wouldn't have noticed it. And she just looks out of place to me.
Because if I can show you the Photoshop file, I was working on it last night when we were on Life of Matthews. Her elbow was completely cut off because of the screen, so I had to literally reconstruct her elbow.
I was going to say,
give you
I
props,
don't
man.
remember
Even
that
I don't
scene.
mess with that shit.
You don't remember this? Okay, I'll pull it up if you.
No. If now that you're saying it's 2 scenes put together, it makes more sense.
Oh, you mean the whole scene?
I don't remember that particular whole scene because it looks like they're all looking at a TV or something behind the bar.
Right?
There wasn't.
Yeah. So it's Morn and Odo, and that's one, and then it's the 2 Dabo girls. Yeah, and that's the other one. That was when they. Okay, so that if for all you Trekkies out there, the Dabo scene is when they were asking for raises.
Oh, the union.
That's when they were walking. Yeah, that was the union episode. And in this episode, I don't know which one this one is. It's one of this because this is like the basic shot. It's the one that Odo comes in. I just don't remember why he was.
Odo walks to the corpse bar. Morn is
all
there
the time.
I mean, how many episodes do you want to go through with that?
Yeah, I think like, you know what it is. I know what it is. That this is hologram Morn. That's why Odo looks so freaked out.
Oh no!
That's why he's looking like
Morn.
I think that's what this one is. I think I'll have to double check.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right.
I think this is when he was freaking out because he thought Morn was dead.
Face.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the expression of man. If Dax was in the background, that would have been the dead giveaway.
So,
no, but I think you're right. I think you're 100% right.
Right, and yeah, hell yeah, man, good stuff. You know, and if anybody wants to do some blue screen shots for their shows, guys, hit me up. I'll be glad to make any of this for you guys.
So while I was looking,
I gotta finally get a new computer because this one here I got is my experimental one, and I play with it a lot. But with me doing a little bit of YouTube and my wife wanting to get involved, yeah, we need to get a better computer for streaming. So if you have any recommendations, hit me up on. And then he left me. Look at that. Oh, there you are again.
Just showing it.
You blue screened me. Here I am holding my heart out in friendship.
I got you, man. I got you. That kind of ruins it. Okay, there we go.
Nah, buddy. Hey, any
definitely
any recommendations on that? Get with me on Twitter, YouTube, or whatever. And because my wife and I are looking in. You know, I'm an IT guy, but when it comes to the streaming stuff, it's not. You know, I was when I say IT, I try to remind people I'm your repairman. I'm the guy who fixed it. I'm not the guy who could tell you how it works.
Yep.
It was like, I'd sit there, fix your computer, and goes, oh, well, what does this program do? I'm like, how the fuck should I know what that program does? I don't do that fucking thing. I just repaired your computer. Be grateful, bitch.
Okay. Well, that's why when I was going to colleges and schools, and not only did I have to go for like A+ in computer science, but I had to close it up with a media production degree, and that really brought it full circle. So yeah, it's not the same, right? It's like a whole nother realm that you have to get into just to do this kind of video and understanding how the programs work and overlays, and that's why I can do cool stuff that you guys are seeing me do.
Yeah, the only 2 degrees I got, or not degrees, certifications. I got my Net Plus and my Security Plus, and I keep my Security Plus up to date just so in case I want to get back into a government position. But man, I tell you what, between what I did then to what is out there now, it is just. I might as well be. Sometimes I wanted to say is like I might as well go back to DOS.
I never got any certifications. My company didn't require it, and I never thought long enough ahead to think I'd ever leave. So it's like I don't need them.
You know, believe it or not, Bird of Prey 5. I've got to be honest. I was required to get them after I already knew the skills to do the job for networking and stuff. So it was, it wasn't really needed. I mean, I didn't need it. It was just something the military said, oh, we're making this a new requirement. And I was like, well, okay. I already know how to do network. Well, we're going to send you to school. And, I went to the class. I went to the 2-week course. I mean, I actually went through 3 or 4 different courses in the military. And one time I actually walked in, left for lunch, came back in and said, is this the class you're teaching? He goes, yeah. I said, I've already graduated. I'm leaving.
What?
It is crazy sometimes. But I mean, certifications are a pain in the ass. I hate them. I don't like them. I didn't agree with them. I didn't agree with making my troops who had gone through all the requirements to be IT technicians and say, oh, now you got to do this or we're going to deregister you. I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? Well, that's also probably why I got fired. Yeah, by the way, if anybody knows anything about the military, you can be fired, although it's not called fired. It's called relieved of duty. And after 2 years at my job, I got relieved of duty. You know what I found out a few months later? Everybody really wanted me back because I was the guy who actually I wasn't a yes man. Sorry, a little bit of a tangent. I'll mute myself now.
No problem. I didn't know that firing was an option. I mean, I assumed you'd get like thrown out or something, like dishonorably discharged or less than honorable discharge or honorable discharge. I didn't know firing was something.
Well, it's not really firing. It's like I said, I was relieved of my current position until they found a new place for me. I was given paperwork, which was called a letter of reprimand, and they moved me to. They had to take time to figure out where to move me. But I mean, it wasn't like they could kick me out or court-martial me because nothing I did warranted that kind of severity. I mean, that's literally you have to commit a crime. You have to steal, lie, do something. Nothing I did warranted that. What I did was I didn't agree with the bosses, and I put my people before my management.
Go down there.
And after 2 years, I lost a fight, and it's okay. It was kind of nice to know when I came back 6-7 months later, and people were like, dude, we did not. You said you shielded us from a lot of stuff. They're like, we had no idea how much you shielded us from till now. because unfortunately the new boss, whoever that was, did not take care of those troops like I did, whether they were GS, contractors, or enlisted. I was one of the few who actually looked out for my people. Cost me my job, but you know what? I moved on, and it made me feel good to know that I made a difference in some people's lives. So it was worth it.
So LDG got into the White House because Biden resigned, and after a bunch of missteps, LDG was next in line.
Oh,
We made it.
LDG invoked the 25th Amendment, didn't
25th,
you?
baby. That's it.
Yeah.
Time for it is time for change.
No. Come on, man. You're going to be able to, get, the country going, right, man? Come on, man.
Read my
Look at
words.
my record.
Read my lips. No more old tactics. New tactics.
Oh, you went George H.W. there. Ooh,
He's also
somebody
calling
went
in
George
all the
H.W..
interns.
Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, who killed JFK? Oh, this is interesting. Oh, aliens. Oh,
Libyan.
Hey, whoa. I want to know who killed Epstein.
Oh, that's in here too. Oh, you don't want to know, dude. It's you don't want to know. Trust me. I'll tell you something else. What else you want to know about? Okay.
That big beard wants to know where his stimulus check is.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I meant to send that over to you, but kind of just put that over here. There we go. So tell me about it. Mine's not coming till the first.
Hey, I want to know why I got a stimulus check. I'm an old, fat, white guy with white privilege and white guilt. I should not have been allowed it. I should have been allowed to. It should not have been sent to me. What the hell, from Mr. President?
Here, clean up after yourself. Thank you. All right.
Is there somebody under that desk, LDS? You're moving quite a bit. And you're not saying no.
Hey, you gotta admit,
this
though,
is how
Mr.
politicians act.
funny.
I can't keep a straight face. I'm sorry. I can't.
You didn't deny it.
I will not tell a lie, but I won't confirm it either.
I am not a crook.
All right.
And I thought I was smoking too much weed.
Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No, please don't go there.
No. You know,
what has this, done for me? I got to make sure we take care of things, especially for women and people of color. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, fucking yes, sweetie, you can come in.
oh, wait, where did it?
What do you need, sweetheart? You want the blankets?
Where'd it go? Main stage.
Oh, you stole my blankets? Oh,
That's
okay.
main stage.
All right, I love you. Okay.
So
So you came in here to steal my blankets?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in the red room.
Okay, they're in the red room.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh god. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my god. Oh, my little girl. I'm that was my little girl, and if it wasn't obvious, this is me wrapped Wrapped. So sorry. Whew.
So
I'm wrapped around her finger.
speaking of Looney Tunes, I was watching the new episodes on HBO Max. And
How was it?
What?
The first two, yeah, HBO Max launched yesterday,
Yep.
and they've got 10 new episodes of Looney Tunes, which are each double episode. So it's like 20 shorts of all new
Ooh,
Looney Tunes.
really?
The animation quality is top notch. The stories have been, for the first two episodes, were excellent. This third one wasn't as great, but it wasn't terrible either. Unfortunately, they went with the look of Bugs and Daffy. That was just like a little older than I liked. Like I liked their more modern look. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But this looks like
you talking back like are you talking you like their you don't like their 60s look or 50s look?
I think I like their
I mean, remember
look.
there was the black and white era too where they
well, this
looked
looks like
totally different.
this I'd say looks like maybe a colorized version of their black and white, or maybe their very first color version, whereas I don't know, maybe late 60s or 70s they had a version of Bugs and Daffy that I think I like better. But it's not terrible. It's not terrible. What I will say is that even though there's definitely places there should have been guns in the episode, you can hear guns being shot in the background. There's no guns. Yosemite Sam doesn't have a gun. Elma Fudd doesn't have a gun. No guns.
How do you have those two without a fucking gun?
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but
See,
other than that,
Yosemite Sam.
They started jacking with.
Sam has you know what? That's like saying, "Hey, we're gonna what are they gonna do next? Take Speedy Gonzalez and say, oh man, hey, we ain't gonna make it sound Mexican. We're gonna go Puerto Rican, or we're gonna go Cuban."
I have a feeling Speedy
sorry.
I have a feeling Speedy and Pepe Le Pew aren't going to be.
They're not going to be in it.
No, they're
I
not.
agree. Nope. Nope.
Oh no, Pepe Le Pew.
Today episode I saw was Sylvester. There was a Sylvester and Tweety episode, and I said when I first started, Sylvester for some reason has yellow eyes. He never had yellow eyes. His eyes were always white.
So what? They wanted to make him a Sith.
You know what the next one is too, I bet, is a Foghorn Leghorn. I bet you won't be in it either.
Oh man.
I loved him.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, boy.
I know.
Do it, Bert.
I sit here, damn it.
What? I can't do it.
What is going on in our okay.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
sorry, you kind of pinched a nerve here, so I gotta ask this question. What the fuck is going on with our culture? Our cartoon culture? I mean, look at what they're doing to the Thundercats, for fuck's sake. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, they are trying to take I swear to God, and if I'm wrong, call me out on it. They are trying to take every alpha male thing that ever made us want to be men and it's being written by woke ass betas now.
No, it's being written by women.
That too.
It's not a male. It's not a male in any writing room in Hollywood right now. I guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, that was the whole thing with Picard. There was all these women in Picard. It's like, well, no wonder Picard looked like a little pussy who lost his balls somewhere. I'm like, I was making jokes on Twitter. I was like, hey, in the next episode, is Picard going to find his goddamn balls? I mean, this is the guy who did Measure of a Man. He fought for the rights of Data. But yet, I get an episode in Picard where it's like, oh, this is B4? Oh, he's disabled? Yeah, whatever. I just walk away. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was saying, why don't they just do this? Because they're just being lazy and coming out with the safest version that's going to get the most eyeballs watching it, and that's why all this crap's happening. Why don't we force them to make like Looney Tunes, like a child version or an adult version that has everything that we want, and a lower version that everybody else watches. That's all.
What do you mean,
PC
Tiny?
and
You mean
crap.
go back to doing
Well-
Tiny Toons?
Well,
No,
I tell
no,
you,
no, no, no.
I'm
Same
magnificent
cartoon.
Tiny Toons. My kids love Tiny Toons.
Same
They think it is
cartoon.
fucking awesome.
Oh,
Same
when I was
episode.
in junior high, intermediate school, Tiny Toons was the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can.
I watched
you can
Tiny
go back
Toons
to
as
that
a
kind of form.
grown up. You okay?
Then they went into Animaniacs, and it was even better.
Hey,
Animaniacs
you know
was
what?
great.
You know what the last great Disney cartoon was? I'm going to tell you right now. My family, we all loved it. The kids loved it. Phineas and Ferb. That show was the shit.
Never heard
It
of it.
had a very nice, simple formula. It was fun to follow. You got 2 stories, and
Oh,
you
you know
know,
this bird. Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb.
The triangle head character, and the
Tristan,
beaker.
idiot!
One looks like Beaker. One looks like a walking triangle.
Who's
Ferb.
Perry the
Ferb.
Platypus? How can you not know? Groovy
Um,
Movies, please tell me you know who Perry.
I mean, I've never
Um,
watched it, but I've seen it. I know about it. I've never
What
watched
was the title?
Phineas. Phineas and Ferb. Ferb. Once you see the characters, I'm sure you're going to say, "Oh, I've seen this, like in passing or something."
LDG, you never actually got a chance to watch it?
I've never seen that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you guys are missing out. It is such a fun show.
You know what was a fun show? Was the imagination with the grandmother and Blue and I like chocolate milk. Damn it, imagination something.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
It was on Nintendo. It was on Nintendo. It was on Nickelodeon. Blue.
Well, just before I forget, these Looney Tunes on HBO Max, they're not rated G, they're rated PG. So they're not even geared to kids. There's the kids content, and it's not there. It is there for the adults.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because if you watch an I'm sorry, Mr. Groovy Movies, but if you think about it, let's watch an old Tom and Jerry like I let my kids watch. You think that crap would be rated G, PG? No, the way Tom got his ass handed to him, that's some R-rated stuff, and that's some violent crap. Guess what? It still didn't burn the house down.
It was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Go ahead, Mr. Londell. I'm sorry.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Friends. I like that.
And after I said that it was rated PG.
Oh, well, they've been jacking with Looney Tunes since I was in high school in the 70s. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember like in the elementary school, yeah, you saw Yosemite Sam. Okay, he'd pull out those 6 guns and fire them, and you see him raise up, and you knew Bugs was gonna have to deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was nothing to see.
I bet today, if you drove to a school with those Yosemite Sam mud flaps, with him with his 6 shooters out, they would have you arrested.
Yeah, they probably would.
Like, you've got a gun on
Wait
campus.
a minute. I gotta call something out here. I don't believe for a second Mr. Lindell is went to high school in the 70s. He can't be more than 25, 26. So yeah. I'm just saying I'm not so sure about his age talking here.
I graduated in 1980 from a high school.
You don't look a
Hello,
day
number
over.
one.
You don't look a day over 21.
And whatever you got in your pipe, you need to send some to my address. Here's my private address through the private chat. Please send me whatever you're smoking.
Well, if you're asking what I'm smoking, I can't tell you who I get it from. Unfortunately, where I live, it's still not legal yet.
Yeah, I'm sure the algorithm is processing that statement right to your local, police department. and by the way, guys, that's like seconds away. By the way, if you guys don't realize that, we are so close
Hey,
from that
trust
actually
me,
happening.
if somebody from the police department shows up at my house, we're all on a first name basis at this point. But that's a story for another time.
Hello, number one sci-fi.
Hello.
Hey, Sci-Fi, how you doing, buddy?
Okay.
Hey, number one Sci-Fi was on my was a guest on my channel not too long ago, man. We had a blast having you on.
Hey, number one.
Thank you.
Snake. Oh, is it snakeweed or something? That Rafi was smoking on Picard.
Space weed. Yeah.
So is that from
space
like
ganja?
Oh God.
So you've been going over 2 hours now?
Yeah, we weren't going to be going too much longer at 2:20. I think by 2.5.
Oh, you're not going much longer? All right. So
No, not much longer. But
all right. Thanks for having me on.
no, talk. We got some time.
I don't say, buddy.
Might as well hang out, party till we crash this son of a bitch.
Yeah, no reason to go, bud.
All right. Yeah.
Well, if I say I love Star Trek Discovery, is that a reason to go?
No, it's not. I mean, I'll try and get the doctors to you quicker, but unless you got $50,000, which then I can understand. So, did you get $50,000 recently?
No.
Then there's something wrong. Yeah.
I did get a stimulus check, which
Hey, I got one of those too. I still can't figure out why.
which didn't stimulate me that much, but
If anybody doesn't want their stimulus check, they can send it, endorse it and send it to me, and I'll redeposit it.
Hey, it stimulated my Viagra purchase.
No, I didn't hear about debit cards.
Yeah, I read it today.
yeah, people have been throwing away their debit cards, not realizing that they're real.
Is it possible, like, for people to
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
I guess if you didn't have a bank account.
I did not know that one.
Yeah, people have been either cutting them up, thinking that it's a scam, or throwing them away, not to realize it, because I guess it comes like in a basic plain envelope, doesn't say federal government or anything like that on it. So they're just thinking it's just a scam type of card deal, like you get where, a bank always sends you a card saying, hey, try this card out.
Pre-approved crap, 30%.
Yeah.
Crap. You think the U.S. government would have some kind of not mistakable envelope? You know what I mean?
You would have some
okay.
picture on it and
Did
be
you
like,
just say the U.S. You would think the U.S. government would do something with common sense?
Yeah, that's why.
You're not going to get that with. We couldn't get that when the climate wasn't even this hostile, and with the climate now as hostile it is, you're not going to get this. I mean, look at what's going on right now with places that are opening up and that are opening up from the lockdown, like me in South Carolina, whereas places that aren't opening up, like where my daughter lives in Illinois, and she's like, I'm finally going to get to go back to work as a hairstylist. And 2 weeks ago, I got to get a fucking haircut. You know, and then you got some places like, you know, whatever, California, New York, which I understand they had, you know, New York, especially New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, they were the hardest hit. So I understand they want to take precautions more, but this is where the problem is when it's like, you can't have, this is where I try to tell people, you can't have a one size fits all for 50 freaking states and our territories. And don't forget, you know, people forget we have territories. We have Puerto Rico, we have Guam, we have the American Samoa, we have the Virgin Islands. All these places have different climates, different cultures, different ways of dealing with stuff, and they have to be allowed to deal with it at best their ability, not have somebody like, you know, in DC say, okay, well, this works for New York. Hey, Guam, you're going to do this. No, it doesn't work that way.
Surprisingly, the Navajo Indian Reservation has it worse per capita than New York City. Yeah, it spread like crazy on the reservations because they all live multi-generation, and a lot of them don't even have running water.
Yeah, actually, if you you know, it was interesting. I did my I homeschooled my kids, so we did American history the other day, and we did the Mexican American War, and you know, I didn't realize until I did my research on it that that's the war that actually gave, you know, conquered, whatever you want to call it, the rest of the country, the rest of basically what we have is the United States. Because if you actually go back and look, you can see Mexico, obviously, after they won their independence from Spain, they had all that territory, but unfortunately, they had a uh, very poor government. And Santa Anna, for you know, was not apparently a good leader.
Well, a good portion
But then you know, you have the Mexican American War, like I said, and then we basically expanded all the way to the, you know, from one coast to the other, and that's how our country. No, go ahead.
Yeah, the Southwest, which is basically Texas all the way to California, used to be basically Mexico. You know.
Yep. Yeah, and it's interesting because well, I don't know if it's interesting or good, bad, sad. But you know, originally the United States was going to try to buy that land from the Mexican government, and we ended up still annexing Texas, which was President Polk's platform was to re-annex Texas and make it, you know, part of the United States. Which I had told my kids, I said prior to when Texas gained its independence, the president, what was it, Burr, I think was his name. He opposed the integration of Texas into the United States as a state. So that's why for the however many years Texas was its own country, was because there was a president prior who said, yeah, no, we're not, because he feared a war with Mexico, which when Polk came in and became president and annexed Texas, we had the Mexican American War.
Yeah,
And
Texas,
actually,
Texas was way bigger.
yes, it was.
And it became, well, part of it became Oklahoma. Part of it became,
No. The border was the Red River at the time. From the Red River, once you crossed it, you were in Mexico until Texas won its independence.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right there.
Yeah, but Texas used to be way, way, way bigger, and they
Yeah, it
basically
encompassed Texas, New
And
Mexico, Arizona, and California. All of that was.
and I actually talked about that with my and I actually talked about that in my class with my children when it came to Texas was here was the thing. There was this big issue, and at the time, with Texas being a slave state and there not being, in the size of it, so they paid Texas a sum of money for portions of their land because, like you said, Texas was a lot bigger than it used to be, but they paid them that money so they could have a smaller portion of land, and they had the paid it off. But the whole point was you end up finding out if you look at what Texas used to look like, it now has parts of at least 4 or 5 other states now in it.
Yeah, New Mexico, Oklahoma.
Yes,
I think even as far north as possibly Kansas, possibly. But it extended because there was a very northern section that they basically carved Oklahoma out of, and
well,
New
I think it had to do with the Missouri Compromise, and if Texas entered the Union, it was going to, because of its size, it was going to actually break the Missouri Compromise.
yeah, they broke it, and that's the reason they broke it up.
Now, I learned some interesting facts about Texas. On top of that, Texas, do you know, has any of you all been to a place called Six Flags?
Yes.
So Six Flags is actually based in Texas, and it's because it was based on the Six Flags that have flown over the state or the territory in the country. You had the French, the Spanish, the Mexican, the Texan, the United States, and the Confederate States.
And Texas always is, talks nowadays of secession from the United States because it's one of the few states that has everything within the state. They could survive if they wanted to. The Texas economy is worth way more than most countries in the world, basically. And I might be going there pretty soon, to tell you the truth.
I was reading up on the Texas history because it was interesting.
Yeah. Texas has an interesting history, and it's, I think, one of the few states that has everything self-contained within it, so it could succeed.
Well, I like that Texas has its own power grid.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's the Western grid, the Eastern grid, and Texas.
Right.
But I think we're going to call it a night here, guys. We're at 2.5 hours. In fact, we're a little past 2.5 hours. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Anybody want to say anything about their channels or anything? Feel free. Let's start with Mr. Londell.
Everybody knows my channel. I'm the guy that shows the groovy movies. Right now, since the plague has hit us, it's been 2, maybe sometimes 3 movies every day. These are the movies we grew up with. If you are a real horror or sci-fi fan like myself, not just Star Trek or Star Wars.
Okay,
You
okay.
see all the movies
I
in
gotta
the
ask.
public
Give me some
domain.
examples of some movies.
Earth versus Flying Saucers. Mars Needs Women, stuff like that. I mean,
Okay.
if
Oh,
if
I
you
got it.
had a
I'm so checking out your channel. I am
if you
so
had a
checking.
if you had a independent channel with a creature features guy, you've seen these movies. This is just a plain and simple.
Awesome.
And let's talk Star Trek.
Yeah, hey, so my channel is called Let's Talk Star Trek. It's pretty easy to find. We have a panel on Monday about 6:30 Eastern Daylight Time right now. And my whole goal was to bring fun back to Star Trek. I've had a great group of panelists, myself, the ambassador, Mr. Mir, Chefzilla. Number one sci-fi has been a guest on my channel. Captain Star Trek has, and I'm also gonna have they agreed to come on next Monday. I'm gonna have one half of Rise of the Valkyries, Samantha Joe, and Stone Loki is gonna actually come on, and we're gonna talk about the character Q. And, I said, I was talking to him. I said, I don't care if 5 people are watching or 5,000. I said, I want everyone to walk away thinking we had fun talking and listening and talking about Star Trek. I ain't into negativity. I don't have time for that shit anymore.
Awesome. And number one sci-fi.
Well, yeah. Speaking of that, yeah, I did my 15 minutes of positivity streams Monday through Friday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, I have to adjust that possibly, but right now that's the time I do it. Monday through Friday, anyway.
Okay. I'm putting in your link, number one sci-fi. And finally, Mr. LDS himself, LDG Pixels.
Hey guys, if you don't already know, yes, LDG Pixels. I'm here to help you guys with your computer issues. Anyone having any kind of IT questions, how to do this, what to do this, how to do this, or you're doing crazy things like typing the word free into Google and start clicking, give me a call. Hit me up, guys. Anytime. Be glad to help you out. Unlock, free the internet.
And hail,
Oh,
Kuro.
I'm so contacting you.
Absolutely.
Okay, and LDG Pixels link is in the chat. So guys, if you're not subscribed to any of these fine people, please check them out. I will be back tomorrow for a Friday bed life, and I'll check around later if anyone's streaming. I don't know, afternoon sometime, 3, 4, 5 p.m. Eastern. Why, is there something going on?
No, I just thought you should say.
Oh, yeah. I might generally around 4 p.m. Eastern. I try to start plus or minus an hour.
Smart man, listening to Mama Bird.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Qapla all, bird out. Ending.